This is episode 52 of the Out of the Minds podcast. I'm Sean Oakley.
And I'm Sam Cooper, as of this moment, still in Kyber.
Yeah, so talking of that, we've reached the knockout stages.
Yeah, the play-in is done, and it's time for the top 32, of which
32.
I played my game, the top 32, on Sunday, and here we are on Tuesday, talking about it. And oh
That's
boy.
good. And the beauty is, I believe... actually, no, I'm not going to ignore me. So... I believe you played someone known to the Tins.
Yeah, I played Connor Holmes, or Canterbury, as he's known online.
Yeah.
This was an interesting one. This is a very interesting one. But so my list, it's been the same for the past several weeks. I'm sure everyone knows it. 4 Vulture Droids, Pre-Vizsla in the Gauntlet, and General Grievous. And then my opponent is flying a list that I honestly didn't really expect to ever see again.
I mean, I see a Defender, but I only see 2 other ships with it.
Yes, so we have Darth Vader in the TIE Defender, with Malice, Duke, and Cluster Missiles.
Okay, yeah.
Suntifel in the Interceptor, with Lone Wolf, Predator, and Shield Upgrade.
Okay.
And Major Vermeil in the TIE Reaper, with Ion Limiter Override, Emperor Palpatine, and Electronic Baffle.
I don't think I've seen Suntir in 2.5.
I know, right? But here's Suntifel.
Oh, excellent. Let's go. The Ace of Legend.
The Ace of Legend is here. And we're playing Chance Encounter, which I actually don't think is a very good scenario for me, because Vizsla and Grievous really have to kill people in this. I can't just rely on the vultures.
I was going to say not against the list like Connor's, because that is a almost classic X-wing list.
Yeah.
So Chance Encounter is going to be its best scenario.
Although, interestingly, I do have the point where I can force him that he has to stay towards the centre of the board. Because if I'm taking up 2 points a turn...
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Like, it's simultaneously not a great matchup for me, but at the same... Like, the scenario isn't great for me, but I actually think my list into his list on Chance Encounter is actually all right, because it forces his aces to stay close.
Yeah, there are ways to play it.
Yeah. But we shall get going, and I'll just start rolling through scenario. My opponent wins priority. Spoiler alert: my opponent wins priority a lot. It doesn't matter this game, except for Grievous and Vermeil.
Yeah,
it basically doesn't matter. I think my opponent wins priority like 6 rounds in a row. Either way, we start placing rocks, and I actually didn't have a plan for rocks here, because it's a Chance Encounter. I just wanted them spread out so that the Gauntlet can fit.
I was going to say that's pretty much your main priority, isn't it? Getting lanes for the Gauntlet,
and so we end up with basically almost like 2 zigzags, essentially. Yep. But there's a rock in both left corners. There's a rock in the dead center. There's I don't know. There's essentially 2 zigzags going at the board.
It almost looks like a pair of chevrons pointing.
Yes, there we go. Also, a pair of chevrons pointing towards the right.
Yeah.
And I'm all right with that. I've got lanes for my people to go on. There are rocks near enough to the center that my vultures can sit on them and hopefully live.
I think the bottom 2, and certainly the middle 2, I think are probably range 2.
Yeah. And so we get going. So I don't do what I normally do. Is I actually do set up my vultures relatively close together in like a network calculations formation that you'd sort of expect. One of the Howard Charles is towards the center. He's aiming for the bottom. Except I guess if I say the bottom of the rightmost chevron, so he can get close to the center of the board and just land on the rock. And the other 3 are spread out in a line on the far right, with the idea that I'm just going to go fast up into the board, turn to the left into the center, and see where we go. Because I don't imagine my opponent is jousting me.
No. Although, I mean, Cluster Missile Defender Vader can wreck through things like droids.
Yes. And then I deploy Vizsla basically in amongst my Vulture drones on the right. And my right-hand side is set up. Vermeil gets put in the dead center of the board, I know. Oh no, he doesn't. I thought he did. I'm misremembering. Yeah, yeah. He sets up in the dead center of the board, and I put the General Grievous in the far left, ready to try and flank. And so my opponent then places Sun Tfl and Darth Vader directly opposite Grievous.
Yeah. Why do I feel like Grievous is scurrying back?
Yeah. So in this one, Grievous is absolutely not taking that fight. But we are set up. We've got Sun Tfl and Darth Vader. Oh, this is terrifying, actually.
Funnily, any other ship apart from the Defender, I would have been like, you could try to, fire straight, maybe get a range 3
Not a chance, though.
engage, and then you fire straight again and try and get behind, but the Defender just white 4Ks behind you.
Yeah. And Darth Vader would juke. Oof.
Yeah.
So, Connor wins priority. And we set going. I set the Zam card every single time. So here's actually everyone listening. Vizsla never gets shot this game.
Okay, interesting.
Interesting.
I suppose.
And I keep putting that exact same Zam card down in the vague hopes that he will get shot, but I'm pretty sure it never happens. Or when it happens, it's at a point when it's irrelevant.
Did you not think maybe at some point that maybe you put the other one down, and then if you don't get shot, you just regain the 2 charges?
Yeah, maybe, but it was just like there was always for me. I always, because I was always shooting last. I always wanted the ability to take a target lock if the guy shoots me.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the double tapping was sort of less of a.
I was just merely thinking the first few turns certainly, but if it becomes a constant pattern, then you do that. You get the 2 charges, and then all of a sudden you can put the target lock one down, and if he doesn't shoot you, then you can double tap.
Yeah.
But
just one of those things. Like, it's point of interest because for me, I just wanted the target lock one down because I just wanted that one time that I don't do it, he'll shoot me. Was my thought.
That's the problem, isn't it? You've got to guess it right.
But basically, my vulture drones did. So the guy landing on the rock, he did a 4 straight and calculated landing on the rock. 1 Howard Child and 1 separatist drone did a 5 straight and calculated, and the far right separatist drone did a 4 straight and calculated. I don't have a meaningful reason why. I just wanted them to be slightly off. I didn't want them to be turning into the left literally in a dead line. I wanted them slightly off so I could spread the arc a little further. And then Vizsla, I believe that is a 3 straight for the gauntlet and focus, and he's setting up to basically turn into the center of the board.
Yeah.
Vermeil, 1 straight, 1 straights. No, doesn't boost and does a 1 straight, I believe it is. Or does boost and does a 1 straight. I can't remember. Is it? Yes, it's May boost. Yeah, he doesn't boost. He just does a 1 straight and focuses. He's being
interestingly, I'll just bring it up because we were talking about it at club night and saying that the Snappy was asking about the stress on the Reaper and not being able to ailerons when you're stressed. But it's not a boost action anymore, is it? It's you may boost.
Yeah.
So you should be able to do it while you're stressed.
But no, before you reveal your dial, if you are not stressed, you may boost.
Oh, is that what it says?
Yeah.
All right. I literally caught the boost bit the other day. I must have skipped past the first bit. So it pretty much, I suppose, changing it from a boost action to a boost means you, or changing it to
before, because before it was a move, and so you could go over obstacles. Now you can't,
and
so you don't get.
Now.
Yeah, you can self, and now you can't self bump twice, and now you can't screw yourself on obstacles, which I think is fine. So Grievous does not take the joust, does a 1 hard and boosts. Suntir does a 5 straight, I do believe. And I think he's going to boost, just boost. Even that's right, he's just evading. But he's currently eyeing up the center. Yeah, he boosts. So he does a bank boost towards the center of the board. Vader does a 5 straight, takes the 3 evade, and bank boosts towards the center of the board. So there's no shooting, and now things are interesting.
So obviously, my gut with the setup was you turn Grievous, and the next turn you 5 straight and scurry him back to the.
Yeah, that was my plan, and now I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but the problem is, if you hard turn and then say barrel roll, so you're behind the rock, trying to get behind, like, if that gets called, then Grievous dies.
Yeah. But the
or at
way
least
I'm
gets
looking at
badly
it
injured.
is, I reckon, with a hard turn from Vizsla is going to put a big arc on Suntir. That means he's not going to want to stay there. So he's either, I reckon. So my thought was Suntir's got to go fast, or he's turning away. Like I can't see Suntir jousting the gauntlet.
A too hard clears that rock, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, because you don't end up back in on yourself like you do with the one hard, do you? So
Anyway, check some
I mean
shots.
that's true actually. Yeah, you're not going to want to, especially with Vizsla because he's throwing 4 dice at you.
Yeah.
Minimum.
So everyone's in range of the center, so we both get a point. Oh no, we don't both get a point because that's turn 2, but we just checked anyway for whatever reason.
So I obviously played at the GSP event at the weekend, and when we were playing our chancing encounter, it was like 3/4 through the game before we remembered that we're supposed to be scoring half points. Just got so used to not scoring half points anymore that we were like, oh yeah, hang on, he's half.
So turn 2, my Connor wins priority, but most of my list goes first anyway. So the Vulture on a rock rotates on the rock and calculates. The other How Child does a 2 hard and calculates. The Separatist drones do 3 hards, and one of them will calculate, and one barrel rolls to the right and calculates, I believe. And the Gauntlet does a 2 hard and focuses, and it is like there is no bumps in here, but by God was it close from some of the vultures.
I was just looking at that green and yellow vulture.
Yeah, it was very, very close. The male, I believe, boosts straight and then does a 1 bank, and so he's dodged the Gauntlet arc, but he's in all the vultures. I believe he just takes a focus here. Then Grievous does a 2 hard.
So you do
a barrel roll and focus.
Good. Does the boost fit round that?
Yeah, so
I'd be tempted.
So Vader has done a 3 bank, got his free evade, and he's currently looking around the rock trying to see if he can get around it.
I'd be tempted. I think that's a no.
He takes a focus.
Okay.
Then Suntir does a 4 straight.
Okay.
And has choices. Because right now, outmaneuver Grievous have a shot.
Well, that's
Vizsla
exactly what I'm thinking.
And 3 drones have a shot.
I mean, I think you just boost, don't you? Boost to the right would get you out of Grievous and Vizsla.
So he's also wondering about lining up the bullseye for the free focus token.
I mean, that is true. So you could just barrel roll into Vizsla, but
yeah, that's not. Yeah,
exactly. But I don't think a barrel roll. Maybe you just take the evade. I don't think he's got bullseye though, has he? Not on the.
No, he hasn't got bullseye yet. So he boosts.
Oh,
there.
It's the interceptor. I was just gonna go. I was thinking that's gonna put him over the rock next turn. Can boost barrel roll, of course.
And he barrel rolls away, so he's only in a Vulture Droid's arc. He then starts shooting. So start of engagement, before he starts shooting, is green Separatist drone launches a Discord missile with a 3 bank, and it very barely clips underneath the Reaper. We do a lot of looking at it because we're trying to work out if it's actually under, but it does in fact clip under the Reaper, yeah. And so the Reaper now has a buzz droid on it, on its front specifically. And then the pain comes. Suntir fell, range 1 into a Howard Child prototype.
Just out of curiosity, can you launch 2 buzz droids onto the same target?
Yes, I can.
You can. Cool.
One goes on the front, one goes on the back.
Yeah, that was my assumption. Just thought that.
Yeah. So Suntir whiffed, hit, literally hit focus blank. Hit crit focus blank. Lose Lone Wolf to get a second hit. I rolled evade focus, and I believe I reached for a calculate from yellow to get 2 evades and just take crit. Which is, I want to say, is disabled power regulator.
Oh, okay. So off the rock you pop.
Yeah. So Vader shoots into Grievous with Malice and the Force, hit crit. I roll blank focus, and I spend my focus for 1, so just lose the shields. Then Vermeil shoots into the wounded Vulture Droid, gets 2 hits, and I roll evade, focus, spend my own calculate to live.
Interesting choice. I know he's injured, but it was only 1 health, and you're getting the obstruction.
Yeah.
I think I would have gone into one of the other droids, or just gone into one into the gauntlet. But
yeah, I can see why he wanted to do that, because 1 more damage gets him a point as well.
Well, that's true. That is true.
So Grievous, obstructed, shot back into Darth Vader. There's an evade and a focus, so this isn't going to do much, especially when I roll 1 hit. And my opponent rolls 1 evade. The gauntlet has nothing, and then it's just Vulture Droids plinking away at the Reaper. So I get 1 damage through.
So if you can get those
with
shields
first
down,
shot. Hit crit, 2nd damage through. Then we go to I1, range 1 into Sintifel, single crit evaded, and range 2 into the Reaper. Another damage through, because he rolled 1 extra dice by mistake. So 1 damage through, so then the Buzz Droid hits, and it is a structural damage.
Ooh. And of course he's going to go.
Yeah.
He's going to go over the Buzz Droid again.
Yes.
So, just out of curiosity, we know he's going over the Buzz Droid. Would you I know you like to put it on the front to give your opponent the option to shoot it so they're not shooting one of your ships. But now that you know there's no shields or anything, do you even consider putting it on the back for that guaranteed crit?
Yes. But the other thing with this one is I'm pretty sure no matter where he's going to bump into the front, and so I'll have to put it on the back anyway.
Fair enough.
But so I'm actually feeling pretty okay so far. Yeah, Grievous has got a Darth Vader problem, but like Suntir's kind of in the wind. There is a million drones you can turn into Suntir.
But I mean, surely you 1 bank to the left with Vizsla here, because wherever Vader's going, he's going to be in that front arc.
So interestingly, I choose not to do that.
Okay.
Also, we both get a point from the center. I just go straight.
Just go straight. Present your rear arc to either Suntir or the Reaper. Fair enough. I was just thinking a 1 bank would likely get you a shot onto Vader and then a veteran tail out.
Yeah, the thing I was thinking about is I didn't want to block Grievous from coming in.
I mean, that's fair. But a 1 bank left maybe blocks the 2 bank from Grievous.
Because, like, both Connor and I know that Grievous is doing a 2 bank to the right.
Well, I mean, you say that. I would have looked to see if a straight maneuver fits, and have just... If you go past that with a fast enough straight maneuver, I might have just 5-straighted.
I mean, I think you'd go past it, but I just wanted to clear the stress and keep Grievous relevant. So, I accidentally 1 bank Suntir somehow with my Ion maneuver. But yeah, I 1 bank off the rock with the Ion Vulture, because he doesn't really like where he is. And then the other Vulture goes and replaces him, but does a 2 hard, lands on the rock, flips the struts and calculates. Vizsla does a 3 straight, just trying to clear some space.
Hang on, weren't you red a second ago?
And then focuses. Then the 2 Vulture Droids turn in towards Sintifel, doing 2 hards and calculate. Vizier doesn't boost. Is it Vizier? Major Veil doesn't boost and just does a 1 straight, I believe. No, that looks like a 3 straight. Bumps into the back of a Vulture, so the Buzz Droids go on the back and he takes a red focus. Because he does have a range 1 shot into one of the Vulture Droids. Grievous does a 2 bank to the right, clears the stress. And I don't fancy my chances of boosting through the gap, because whilst you can't see it on this under the wings, there is like the tiniest of gaps, but I have a feeling I would have gone in straight into the red Vulture Droid. Had I done a 1 straight or banked the other way with a Vulture Droid, maybe this would go better, but either way, I just focus. And then Vader does a 3 hard around the rock. Takes focus and evade. He's right behind Grievous, he's very happy. Suntir does a 2 straight. Takes a focus and boosts. Just arc dodging arc dodging one of the vultures and trying to get out of range of Vizsla. So because I'm pretty sure that I was sure that blue separatist drone was going to die to the Vermeil shot because the range one Vermeil into a vulture droid is not ideal for me. And because Suntir is right there near me, I try to launch the buzz droid onto him and I just overshoot him.
See, I think I completely agree
A
with
three
you.
straight might have got it.
I think I would have done the straight.
Yeah.
Just hoping that it catches that back corner. But yeah, no, I agree that launching it's probably the right call there.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things like he's right there. Like I'm never gonna get another chance to land this on some TFL.
Now, just out of curiosity, surely for Suntir, you just stick it on the back and get that crit.
Yeah, pretty much. Especially in this situation where Suntir has no other shot.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Darth Vader shoots into General Grievous, and he spends one force and malices for 2 hits, 2 crits.
Ouch. This Grievous gets some rerolls. Doesn't need
I roll evade focus, and I spend my focus to evade. Actually, I think we sort of semi-forget that Duke is a thing, but in the end, I would have spent my focus anyway, so...
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter. So I take crit. First crit is direct hit, so it goes away. Second crit is blinded pilot.
That doesn't go away.
Yeah, that doesn't go away. So thank you, Impervium plating. Connor did actually say, like, Grievous is like the one person you don't actually want to malice him.
Yeah.
But that does mean that Vader gets 2 of his force back, because there was a pilot crit that went through.
Yep.
Which is relevant. Suntir has nothing. And Major Vermeil goes range 1 into a vulture droid. He has a green token. I don't have a green token, so he gets his pilot ability. He changes a blank to a hit and spends a focus spends I think either the force or his focus token for 3 hits and a crit.
Ouch.
And I roll double blank, so dead vulture droid.
Dead vulture.
God, I'm whipping through this game quite rapidly, I feel. But that, to me, justifies yeah, absolutely. If I have the option to launch a buzz droid and it might hit something, just do it.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at it now, I think 3 straight maybe, but I also think it might have just
that might have overshot as well. You know, it's
either way, very dead vulture droid. End of I6, I should remove that, but I've clearly forgotten. General Grievous shoots into Major Vermeil, outmaneuver and structural damage.
Because you're not at I6, are you? You're at I4.
Oh, I4, yeah.
Which is why Grievous is shooting.
So hit crit, can't mod, but I'm lucky, and Vermeil has no defense dice.
Blinded pilot, so
yeah. I spent the focus, so it would have been just Grievous rerolls. But
so
either way,
what's the Reaper's normal? Is it 1? Is it
1? Yeah. But outmaneuver and structural damage.
Yeah. Oh no, I got that. I just wasn't sure if it was 1 or 2.
I can't remember what the crit was. I know the Reaper has 2 health left at I3. But my Separatist Drone goes range 1 into Suntir. I roll 3 hits out of hand.
Nice.
My Heat Suntir gets blank focus. So if that buzz droid had landed, there'd be a crit coming Suntir's way onto his hull. But I do plink off the shield. Then Vizsla is sorely tempted by the range 3 trick shot into Suntir fell.
No, I mean,
especially because Suntir only has the Lone Wolf reroll and doesn't have that, in fact.
Yeah, okay, that's a point, but I still think going into the structurally damaged, no defense dice Reaper.
Yeah, that is what I do, because I say, well, the Buzz Droid isn't guaranteed to deal 2 damage with a direct hit, so let's try and make sure it happens. I do Vizsla for bonus dice, just in case, because I only have a focus to mod, and I just need to make sure it goes down. And with Suntir and Vader being the 2 ships left, I figure it's about 2 turns before I get a shot with Vizsla again.
So you've got a focus. All you need now is 2 paint.
Yeah.
Which out of 3 dice is,
and I get 2 focus results.
Statistically likely. There you go.
Spend the force. I spend the focus. 2 damage onto Major Vermeil, and the TIE Reaper is dead. No other shots from my I1s, and I am the only one with a ship in the center.
Interesting.
So I get 2 points as well, so I'm up 8-3.
Okay, nice lead, but not insurmountable by any stretch.
No, not insurmountable at all. Especially because Vader is untouched, and Sunt is stressless and facing off against two vulture drones.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be fine.
I'm curious to
I
see
actually
what
can't remember what I do
I say.
in
I'm
the next
curious to
round.
see what you do with Vizsla.
Well, actually, I know what I do with Vizsla.
I'd be tempted with the stop, but
Yeah.
that's me. Name just because if Vader turns in, you might get the bump. Then he's not getting his evade. Also, your stop's your only real turnaround, and I kind of feel like you want to be facing the other way.
Oh, no, I remember what I do. So the vultures do vulture things and just start rotating randomly in the hopes of finding enemies. Um, the red Howachal gets out of the way of Grievous because Grievous is about to one hard in the hopes that because I reckon Vader's going fast, so I'm gonna try and duck in Grievous behind.
See, I reckon Vader's
Uh,
turning in with a 3 hard.
yeah, yeah. I the two Howard Child prototypes are turning to face Suntirfell. The Separatist drone does a 3 hard onto the rock that has the other Vulture drone and takes a calculate. Vizsla stops and does a 180-degree rotate,
Yeah, yeah.
and Grievous does a 1 hard and focuses. And then Vader bumps into Grievous.
Okay. Not ideal, but not. You've knocked that evade off, so
Yeah.
that makes Vader vulnerable.
So the one shot he's got coming.
But, I mean, every shot counts.
True that every shot does indeed count. So Suntir does a 2 hard in towards the center of the board. And as he takes an evade and boosts, gets the bullseye on a bunch of my ships and gets a free focus token. And Vader shoots into the wounded Howachal prototype.
Okay. I mean, with
Range 1.
Vader punching like he does, I would have considered going into the Separatist drone to stop the shot coming back.
Yeah,
I get
that is
why
definitely an
he's,
option.
but the fact that Suntir's got a nice shot on him as well, I think I probably
So
shot Suntir first.
spending basically all the force, we have 2 hits, 2 crits into the Howachal prototype. I roll 1 evade, and I take a bunch of crits, none of which are pilot crits. So no malice back, unfortunately. But the Howachal is very dead. Very, very dead. I believe this is going into Grievous. Single crit, blank, and a focus from Suntirfell. I roll a single evade. Grievous has a range 0 shot into Darth Vader. I get hit crit. Vader gets blank, focus, focus. So 2 shields down on Vader. Vizsla has a range 2 shot into Suntir. Single crit, single evade. Then I accidentally check the I1 drone instead of the I3, but luckily we go back and I get a range 1 shot into Vader. Hit crit from the Separatist drone, and Vader rolls nothing, so shields down on Vader, and that's half points.
Nice. And that looks pretty nice for a 2 straight from Vizsla next turn.
Yep.
Nicely clear the stress. Might but if it does, hey, red focus. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Grievous does a sloop here down towards the bottom of the board.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sloop down towards the bottom of the board. The Vulture drones just rotate.
Yeah. Face upwards.
I win priority for the first time in this entire game.
Not that it matters at all anymore.
Nope. So both Vulture drones rotate towards the top of the board, facing where Suntir and Vader are likely to be. Vizsla does a 2 straight, flips the wings, clears the stress, and focuses. Grievous does a 3 sloop. Yeah, so this is interesting. Gets a stress. Vader does a 3 hard to the right, going through the rock.
I didn't see that. I did not see
Rolls
that.
Yeah, I didn't see that either. Rolls dice, doesn't take any damage except for the automatic one. Then I remind him that he does have Vader's action.
And
Because
still gets the evade, I believe.
yes, still gets the evade and gets an action. So he barrel rolls in front of Grievous.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think
Ouch.
this is desperation mode. Suntir does a 4 straight over the back of Vizsla, takes a evade action, and boosts away. Vader into Grievous rolls 3 focuses and a blank.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Malice for a single crit. I roll nothing. It's a ship crit, and Pervium Plating says no.
I'd be getting salty about now.
Yeah, so
Oh,
Grievous
yeah.
range 1 into Vader. I roll 1 hit, 2 focuses, and a blank. Vader spends his evade to dodge it. Then Vizsla out the back, spending his charges to get an extra dice into Suntir. I get hit, focus, crit, spend the focus token for hit, hit, crit, and Suntir rolls 2 blanks and an evade. Spends his token to get a second evade and takes a direct hit. So that's Suntir on 1 health.
That's half
Half
on
on
Suntir's.
Suntir.
Oh, looks like he's just taken that back. Did he lone wolf?
Oh yeah, so yeah, I forgot about it. Yeah, so I said because he as he was like sorting out stuff, and he was like, "Oh, lone wolf," and I was like, "Just take it." Like we're still in the shooting at Suntir step, so he lone wolfed, got the blank into an evade and dodged the damage.
Nice.
Yeah, I forgot about this one. Yeah, because I was just like, "Look, we're still in the step where Vizsla shoots, so just lone wolf." Like, there's nothing else you could possibly spend it on.
That's good
And so I have no
sportsmanship.
shots. Vizsla gets a charge back, and we both talk about kind of laments at the fact that Grievous is the one person in the entire game that you don't want malice against.
I mean, one blank and 3 eyeballs is unlucky.
Is very unlucky. But like, it's actually no. The unlucky bit actually, I think, was the Howard Charl in the previous shot taking no ship crits and getting him all that force back.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That was the unlucky one. If Vader has full force there, that's a death-defying shot into Grievous, and I'd probably die. So I go all in on trying to kill Darth Vader here, I think. With the exception of Grievous. Grievous goes after Suntir because he reckons he can take him. I win priority again.
Does a 2 hard flip round the rock with the gauntlet? I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I think I bank.
Fair.
Or stop. It turns out I'm a liar. The Vulture droids are turning to face Suntir Fel for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Well, because they were facing. No, they were facing. Yeah, they were facing up the board. So you
They were
can't
facing up the
180,
board.
can you? So
Yeah, but I could have turned 90 degrees to the right.
well, I mean, I don't. I think Vader.
So Grievous. So Vizsla stopped and didn't flip his wings. And Grievous did a 2 bank boost into a focus. Suntir Fel did a 3 sloop. And Vader did a 3 hard.
Okay, so Vader did go that way. Interesting.
Yeah, take the target lock onto the Howard Child prototype. Suntir shoots into Grievous, nothing happens. Grievous shoots into Suntir, hit, focus, crit, spend the focus for hit, crit. Suntir rolls 3 evades. So finally, the Imperial Greens are showing up. Doesn't even have a lone wolf. Vizsla has nothing, and neither do the drones. I get another 2 points for the center zone.
So this is the point. Vader's not dead, and Suntir's not dying, but you're starting to rack up those 2 points at least on the center objective.
No matter how many more point game rounds this goes, those Vulture droids. Well, actually, no. The target locked Vulture droid is bugging out because he target locked a Vulture droid, so I'm pretty sure Vader's about to come kill him. So I figured I'd move.
Yeah,
but other than that, the Vulture droid's just staying where they are because they just ensure points. I think Vizsla just does a straight or like a 2 bank or something, and Grievous just does a 2 straight or 3 straight, trying to get in the way. So we tie, and then Connor wins priority. Yeah, so I bump. Yeah. Here we go. I bump into Grievous at getting off the rock, and I was like, I didn't really think this one through, but I was just like, I've got to get him out of the way of Vader.
I still think that's worth it because at least
take a damage,
playing some distance. It's full health. You can afford the 1 damage.
Then the Separatist drone just rotates 90 degrees up on the rock because it looks like Suntir's coming in and Vader might be around. Vizsla does a 1 bank. And focuses, so that actually clears. Then Grievous has a 3 straight and focuses. Suntir does a 2 bank and bumps into Grievous. And does take his red focus in the end, knowing he's going to get a second focus token from his bullseye.
I was going to say I would.
Then Vader does a 3 hard and bumps into Vizsla. Takes a red focus. So Suntir rolls range, I think that's range 2 bullseye into the Howard Child prototype. Rolls 3 hits. I roll evade and focus, so I spend my calculate. I spend the calculate from green to get 2 evades, and just take a single hit on the yellow. Or I spend the calculate on myself, even whatever. Wherever I spend the calculate, I spend a calculate from.
Did Vader
one
just
of the drones.
decline to shoot Vizsla?
Vader did just decline to shoot Vizsla.
Okay. I mean, range 0,
Yeah.
not giving you the lock. I kind of get that.
So Grievous shoots range 0 into Suntir. I get 2 hits. Suntir gets focus blank blank. Lone Wolfs into a blank, spends a focus for 1. Then Vizsla range 0 into Darth Vader, blank blank crit. Vader rolls blank blank focus and dodges it. And then the Howard Shell prototype, range 2 into Suntir fell. Wait, what's happened here? Why have I ticked up to 20?
Did you just decline? What? Why have you ticked up to 20?
I killed. No, I think Vader died. No. I think Vader died to the Vizsla shot.
Did he?
I'm rolling back. Hold on.
Looks like he's only got 1 health. So he takes 2. Oh, they've only got 3 hull, haven't they?
Yeah.
Oh no, hang on.
No, he's got a focus.
And here we go. This is it.
Yeah.
So it's range. Yeah. So
single crit. Spends the focus.
And you're on.
Oh
19.
no! It's because
you're on 19. That's why.
Yeah.
So you'll get the 1 point for being in range.
Yeah.
My assumption is you just don't bother shooting because it ticks you up to 20.
Yeah. Cool. That's what it was. I couldn't remember exactly what it was. Oh, it's because I netted half on Suntir. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I netted half on Suntir. Getting that one through. And that took me up to 19.
Yeah, of course. So, top.
That was
16,
interesting.
so.
I'm in the top 16. I'm honestly not quite sure how this is all going because there's like a challenge thing, and I don't like. There's So there's like a bracket that I'm in, and there's also the top 16. So like, some people have already played their top 16 games.
What?
Nicholas God is already in the top 8.
How have they already played the? Well, I suppose if you've both gone through on the bracket, then
yeah. It's I'm not really sure how it's going on, but it doesn't matter. I'm sure it's just getting filled in, but there is a bracket, so I do know that my next opponent is either First Order or Scum.
Cool.
And I'm waiting on the results of that one.
And it's, I believe, an accelerated cut.
Yep. So
we'll definitely be able to bring you the top top 16 match next
well,
week.
Don't confirm the top 8 match there. No, that's not guaranteed.
Yeah, well, I mean, who thought you'd make top 16? Let's be honest.
Not me.
Not the podcast guys from Hexard either.
Not the overwhelming majority of X-Wing players, considering how unpopular Separatist is these days. But hey, here we are.
So when they get nerfed even further, we're pinning it on you.
Yeah, pretty much.
You and was it Sasha that went to the cut at GSP? You two are getting the blame. But yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
Very well played.
Is that Sasha Wagner?
Yeah.
Yeah, playing Scum in this one. I might be playing them next.
I believe you took Django.
Django,
yeah. Grievous, Cad Bane, and one of the DFSs.
Yeah. That sounds like a list.
Yeah.
I think we're at the end there.
I mean, looking back on it, I didn't particularly see any massive, what I'd call mistakes. If half the time I called your maneuvers with what I'd do, it's what you did.
Yeah, like I feel like this one, like I still maintain that I think Chance Encounter is not the greatest scenario for this list because my vultures are actually a liability. Let's get down to it.
Yeah, but I also think the engagement happened in an ideal place for you where you could get Vizsla into the middle and then effectively just back and forthing in the middle with the rotate, and then the droids around that on the rock.
Like what I think is that this scenario is not a great matchup for me, but Connor's list on this scenario is a great matchup for me. Because if this were Assault at the Satellite Array, I could leave random vultures scattered on satellites, but then Vader and Suntir just go gobble, gobble, gobble.
Yeah, pretty much.
Lone vulture. Whereas on this one, Connor is basically forced to come into the center where the majority of my list is.
Yeah.
And I think he played pretty well because like, it's not like I was shooting with
No,
everyone every round, so there's
no,
definitely some spread out.
I didn't, didn't see any massive mistakes on Connor's side either.
Yeah,
Which is great. Those are the best games, where both people are playing well when
I think his
it's a
green
good
dice let him
game.
down.
Honestly, yes, probably.
Like I think I didn't check stats. But I think his reds were okay, but then again, it's hard for me to be objective on his reds were okay because he had Vader, so Vader makes all of Vader's reds look okay because they're always hit crit crit.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to be objective on that one. But like it felt like his reds were doing okay.
Yeah, it did
It's
feel
just
like
that
the greens weren't
it's just that
ideal.
my reds and greens were there and Connor's greens weren't.
Yeah.
I think that yes, Connor said that. I think Suntir's like trip like Suntir rolled like all of the evades the entire time, right? It was mostly focuses,
Yeah.
and he only rolled like 4 evades. Admittedly, he didn't get shot too often, but still,
Hang on, he only rolled 4 of 8.
yeah.
What, for the entire game?
Well, there was that big thing of 3, and then he rolled 1 evade, blank, blank.
I was about to say, like, 3 of them happened in one roll. That
Yeah,
is some bad green dice.
I'm pretty sure because I'm pretty sure Vermeil was just always the few times he rolled green dice, it was a focus into an evade or just blanks. Vader's was always focuses and blanks, but he usually had evade and focus tokens to spend it.
But that's the problem, isn't it? It's it's if your dice are bad at the wrong time. Like I've had it where early game my greens are terrible and a few of my ships die and then it's an uphill struggle. And then like towards the end of the game I start just nattying every turn. And if you look at the gamers overall and bring up the dice stats, you're pretty average. But by that point it's too late per se.
Yeah.
But that is unfortunately the way it goes sometimes. X-Wing is a dice game. Or partially a dice game.
It's a dice game. Let's not.
There's a lot more to it than.
Yeah, but there's a lot more to most tabletop games than the dice.
I do like Ollie's view on if you don't put yourself in the position where you take a lot of dice, the dice can't let you down.
Exactly.
But AMG very much wants you to go in and throw a lot of dice at each other, so. Somewhere along there, you've got to kind of compromise on that.
Yeah, but I would argue that X-Wing has some of the more reliable dice in tabletop miniatures. At least of the ones I've played. Like the amount of mods you can get, like, are a lot. And I'm not comparing this to 40k or anything like that because yes, 40k there's rerolls on rerolls on rerolls. But quite a few of the games I've played, like access to rerolls and dice modifications in X-Wing is very high because everyone gets access to it. Whereas, like in Marvel, not like a few people get access to some very good mods, and most don't get access to it at all.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, X-Wing's a dice game, and sometimes it sucks, but at the same time, sometimes it all goes your way, and sometimes it goes even.
Yeah.
I feel like I tried to make a point there and just didn't say anything.
It's fine. On Sam's rambling. No, I got it. It's It effectively boils down to dice be dice.
Dice do be dice. That's why you weight them.
I'd just like to point out for the record that the Out of the Minds podcast in no way condones weighting your dice. And on that note,
you don't have to condone it to do it. You can acknowledge that you're cheating and still do it.
Okay.
Should we end now before we dig too much dirt?
Whoa. Where's the we in this?
Hey, we are a team. We are a team.
Oh, yeah. Until it finds out that you're cheating, and then I just throw you under the bus. Right, on that note, we will call it, guys. Thanks very much for listening, as always, and watching if you're on the YouTube channel. We will be back next week with Sam's Top 16.
Yeah, unless it goes too badly, in which case I'll just chicken out.
No, we will be back next week with Sam's Top 16. We've watched 5 6 weeks of him winning now, and
surely you're bored of watching 4 Vulture drones, Vizsla, and Grievous.
Well, I kind of feel we have to see this run through. It's interesting to watch the list against different lists, so
True.
there is that. But yeah, we will probably stick with this for as long as Sam's run continues.
And then we'll have to find another set of games to find.
Oh, it's fine. I've like two new factions I need to practice, so
that's fair.
You know, like 2 years ago when I got into this game, I told my wife that, or 3 years ago, should I say, I told my wife that I'd only ever buy one faction.
Yeah, well, we all knew that was a lie at the time.
I now officially own all 7. Oh well, I can't get any more.
Wait till they add another faction.
Oh,
the Hapes Consortium.
I'd probably buy it. Right. On that note,
right, let's stop there.
Yeah. Thanks very much, guys. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Ta-ta!
Toodles. Okay.